it's EGE time. You know what that means? Everybody's got to eat, and this weekend we get to hope to see Rashee Rice eat. I can't wait. So storyline for weeks is get to after week 6 because we'll have Rashee Rice back. We'll have the entire group back, and Rashee Rice, Hollywood, and Xavier Worthy. For the first time, we'll have all 3 of those guys together. So his big storyline was from ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, who reported that the Chiefs plan to allocate a heavy workload to Rashee Rice as soon as possible, which kind of contradicts some of the reports I saw that the Chiefs are going to move him in slowly because it never made sense to me. He played during preseason. He's back from the injury, so it's not like he's coming back for week 7 coming off the injury. He's only coming back right now because of the suspension, nothing to do with the injury. He's back. Today at the press conference, they asked Andy Reid about that specific report from Jeremy Fowler, and probably one of the better Andy Reid sound bites that you're going to hear in the this is funny. And Pat talked about it too, and Xavier talked about what Rashee Rice means to the squad.
Coach, Jeremy Fowler reported earlier that there's not going to be any plans for ramping up Rashee Rice. You're going to give him as much as you possibly can. Can you confirm anything about that, or is there some sort of plan for getting him steadily back into the offense?
Well, he's going to play. I mean, how many snaps he gets, ask Jeremy, he'll tell you. Listen, I think he's excited to be back in and going. I think getting through practices here will be good for him to kind of get back into the swing of things.
I mean, he's going to be out there every single play. I mean, that's just the mentality that he has. I think it's going to be our job as teammates and coaches to kind of build him back the right way. But it's going to be hard to keep him off the field for sure. With the speed that we had with Tyquan and with Xavier and Hollywood, sometimes those guys underneath are getting open a lot more. And adding Rashee there and him catching those balls underneath, and then him with his yak and able to make stuff happen is going to force defense to choose. Like, are you going to sit back and let us throw stuff underneath, or are you going to come up and have to deal with all that speed running down the field? And so that's a good problem to showcase towards defenses.
That's just another threat. Like he said, everybody eats. I feel like it's just more eyes go on somebody else. I mean, I feel like everybody in this offense can make a play or go win on one-on-one. So it's just another explosive guy on the offense.
Right there, Pat pretty much explains why it's exciting to have him back, and also I love Andy saying, ask Jeremy Fowler about how much Rashee Rice is going to play this weekend. I thought that was hilarious.
Right.
But Jenny, what are you expecting from Rashee Rice this week? And obviously we heard Pat talk about that, but to people who don't really understand, how is Rashee Rice's presence going to be able to open up a lot of the other things for guys like Hollywood, for guys that were over the over-top shots?
Well, I mean, it's simple. Like they were saying, he's a weapon. And so what you have to do is you have to contend now with not only the receivers that we had on the team that's been hitting teams over the head, going deep, getting short, catching the football, getting yak yards. Now you have the guy, Rashee Rice, R&R. Rolls Royce is coming back, and he's going to be doing a hard thing on people. So that's the deal. That's what's going to happen. So that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting, some real firepower, man. Look, Rashee Rice isn't just your average wide receiver, right? It's not your third or fourth guy coming back that you're hoping he's going to get maybe 1 or 2 plays in. This is your main guy. This is who this is. So when we sit there, we're looking like it's not a backup singer. This is the drummer. The drummer just came back. You know, the music sounds a little bit better when you have your main drummer coming back. You know, they say, oh, we got some on the drummer. Boom, boom. You know, he's just going and giving his little bit. That's what Rashee Rice, his first day back is going to be, the first game back is going to be, right? We're going to give him a show. And so as we see, same thing with Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy, oh, he's going to be a decoy. Don't worry about it. You know, he's just going to run down the field, go in there and throw the ball. And they say, you know, man, we running reverses, throwing deep balls and everything to Xavier Worthy. So Rashee Rice ain't going to be any different. And you heard it. He would love to play every single game. The thing is, you just move him in, you know, in a great tempo, let him get enough, let him get his win into where he needs to. It's just going to make us, we just got that much better. And so this thing is about to open up all the way, Marcus, to what we thought it was going to be, what we thought it could have been last year, to even, this off season. I told everybody, man, you had a chance. Uh-oh, he's back. It's over. So get ready. Get ready. Bring your popcorn, baby. Bring your popcorn. And it's Raiders too? Raider week? Raider week. You got something for all that. Yes, sir.
And I love because Pat, and also in the press conference, he talked about, and Xavier also talked about it too, but there's this love between them. And I find it cool, right? For the kind of the reasons why, like, we haven't seen them together yet. And Rashee, Xavier, and Hollywood have all had this like rapport, like a brotherhood already. They haven't even played together yet. And like, to know they have that kind of all, and Mahomes also talked about his off the field relationship with Rashee, like they're friends off the field, they text, and they're friends. And to know there's this like brotherhood connection like that's been brewing between these guys, and they haven't even gotten to play together yet. And like I think Xavier tweeted yesterday, 1 + 4 = 5. And it's like, all these guys together, and we're finally going to see this brotherhood, and this chemistry be displayed on the team. It's one thing to have like talented guys who like there's 3 talented receivers, but they don't talk to each other. They're not boys, right? They're coworkers essentially. It seems like there's an admiration and a love between all 3 of them. And like for 2 years, we've been talking about having these 3 guys together. And finally, week 7 in 2025, we're going to finally see these guys together. I'm so excited about that. And it's just like, it's one of those things that like, I never thought we were going to get to see it. And we're finally going to get to see it this week. Do you think this could be, I know we talked about the Lions last week, but having the second most points in history. But like, do you see this offense being kind of the more prolific offenses we've seen in the Mahomes era? I know everyone talks about Tyreek and Kelsey days, but like, could this be up there with that as far as prolific offenses?
I think so. And the thing is, it's still going to be the same thing. They're going to try to play us deep. You know, the 2 shell, make sure they won't beat them deep, but we just got to take our shots when we need to. The good thing is, when you're talking about Rashee Rice, and we watch Hollywood Brown, we watch Xavier Worthy, these are yak powerhouses. We know that. And so now you got all these receivers, Tyquan Thornton, we got Juju. I mean, you name it. Jalen Royals, who we thought was going to get significant time, is, he's coming off the bench. He's hardly getting his uniform dirty at all. He don't even have to lace up his cleats. But it's a good thing to have it, man. We got firepower all over the place. That's the thing about it. So speed is going to threaten the defense from everywhere, every single where. And so, yeah, I said this before. I said, especially going against this offense, DB's going to have to get out of their back pedal when they come off the bus. They better lace up their cleats. They better get their hamstrings and thighs warmed up, because we're going to test every single strand and fiber of that muscle out. That's what's going to happen. So I'm excited, like everybody else is excited. And I think with the capability we have, we could put up easy 30-something points. No question about it. No question about it. So,
yeah, and one thing
and we still got to run the football.
There you go. Yeah. I think everyone's already forgot about running the football. Everyone's forgot about the balance thing. Now we have Rashee Rice back. Everyone's forgot about that.
That's right.
We want to balance when he wasn't here, but now we have Rashee Rice. Nah, there's no reason to run it. We go 4 wide all game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
JD, with because you talk about a too high shell, and I think everyone remembers like when we had Tyreek, teams were going to too high, and it was like, okay, well, beat us with other stuff. This offense provides a little differences in the fact that like you have the speed that Tyreek Hill had with Worthy and Hollywood and Tyquan, but then with that team we also had just Kelsey underneath. We didn't really have an underneath guy doing anything. I mean, Watkins was for a little bit, but that after Watkins left, we never had another guy outside of Kelsey to be able to do that. But now you mix in the reason why this is different, and I'm curious how you think defenses are going to kind of I guess try to take away our offense. They're going to go the deep shell, too high look, because you have those guys who can do that. But then underneath wise, you have Kelsey and Rashee Rice to do those things on top of having Tyquan, Hollywood, and Xavier Worthy to hit you over the top. How do you think they're going to come at us? Do you think they are going to go with the too high shell and just say, hey, like matriculate the ball down the field? You ain't going to get you're not going to get the deep ball stuff.
I think there's 2 ways that you could try to play this. Okay, actually 3. All right. You can either try to bring pressure, have 4 get home, and sit 7 back in zone, and hopefully guys don't get open, right? And you can play underneath. You have the 5 guys underneath, 2 guys high, and because we do a lot of intermediate routes, and so we're sitting there saying like, okay, they run a lot of intermediate routes. That's what we have to do. Uh, you're not going to be able to drop 8, like Cincinnati used to do back in the day. But if you're trying to do anything, try to get us in 3rd and long. That's I think that's one of the keys. And then you just play underneath. If you don't do that, then like I said, you got to try to make sure you maintain that zone level underneath as much as possible. 5 to 10, 12 yards. That's where you got to be able to try to do it. Maybe some combination coverage, but you got to play over top. But if you do anything zone wise, where the guys push you down the field, you just can't let us beat you deep. So you're gonna have to hit some comebacks. You might have to hit some, back shoulder throws. But I'm gonna tell you this though, the way the NFL is, none of the guys that's on the other side are gonna be afraid of it. They're gonna try to challenge it. And matter of fact, I would say week in and week out, the defensive coordinator is saying, hey, look, they're saying it's gonna be the best offense. They got all these fast guys. Rashee Rice came back from his suspension, and they this is who they are. This is who they saying they are. Well, I tell you what. How about we go smack them in the mouth, okay? Show everybody different. So we're going to be challenged. We are. We're going to be challenged. But I do believe that if you do anything, then you probably have to sit back in zone as much as possible. You have to bring pressure. I mean, that's at least that's how I would play us. That's exactly how I would play us, and then make sure anything underneath quick. You try to just, make sure you attack it right now.
So either way, offensive line's going to have their plate full because they're going to be trying to do whatever they can to get the pad, whether it's blitzing or trying to get home with 4. So regardless, offensive line's got to do their thing.
Well, but also too, Marcus, I do believe they might dare us to run the football.
Yeah.
Why not? Philly did. So Philly, who's sitting over here, and actually, this is really kind of our lineup we had in Philly. Without Rashee Rice, but I'm saying like, hey, let's dare them to run the football. They like to pass all day. Dare them to run the football. How about that? And so what we had to do, we just got to take them up on it. That's what I say. So, like Pat said, what are you going to do? You're going to decide to sit back and let us throw it and hit you underneath. Run the football is going to be something that we need to be able to at least incorporate what we do well. Our offensive line has gotten a lot better in the run game. We've seen that week in and week out. And so you see that it bears it out and with this guys been able to do with their type of, yards per carry, what they just, been able to do as far as our success in the run game. I think we should continue to do that, man.
Yeah, 100% agree. Greg Rose even says run the ball will work better now. I mean, yeah, like you said, they're going to dare us to do it. Like, hey, like we know you don't want to do this because you have Rashee Rice, because you have all these guys, and we know Andy wants to throw it. So let's see you run the ball. So you kind of get out of your own tendencies. So that'll be on Andy to mix it up and have that balance still there. So there's still the threat of the run.
Yeah.
Man, it's going to be exciting, man. I think Vegas has us, I think 28.5 over under for our own points. So I think we're going to get at least 28 points this weekend. So it's going to be exciting to see. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.